Now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day, committed to being your consumer advocate, all about helping you understand your buying decisions here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We help you win in a lot of different places, we say in any marketplace, and that's relating to real estate, credit, finance, estate and tax planning, student loans, technology, self-defense, so many ways that we help you here, and we've got all those expert contributors that can help you with your buying decisions. We want to help you save time and money when it comes to these different parts of your life. So save our number in your phone. At some point you may need it. You can give us a call or text this off-air number, 813-917-1894. All you have to do is call or text 813-917-1894. And the website, consumerqb.com. consumerqb.com. And we're going to talk with our restaurant partner later in the program. That's Douglas Clark, Ours Creole Smokehouse. Talk a little bit about supply chain strains and things happening in the restaurant industry. Shane Socash as well. David Reynolds, Jewelry and Coin, going to be on the program today. And of course, a lot of people are looking at alternative investment opportunities. So Shane is a wealth of knowledge around that industry. And we also have Dr. Genevieve Dobson in the house, degrees of success, student loan expert, credit repair expert, published author, and a wealth of information as well. So we got a great lineup for you here on the show. And we want to thank our sponsor for this segment, Discovery Golf Cars. So if you've ever thought about getting a golf cart, these guys have awesome. They got 2 locations, Clearwater and also a Tampa location. Talk to Ethan over at Discovery Golf Cars. Make sure you let him know the real estate quarterback sent you. Walk into his office and say, hey, Brandon Rhymes, the real estate quarterback sent me. Discovery Golf Cars, they've got all types of awesome carts available. Easy Go, Cushman, Icon, Star EV, and discoverygolfcars.com online. And you can make them street legal as well. They're pretty cool. I enjoy my Keller Williams red golf cart, and we enjoy our partnership with them. And we like to feature our real estate listings here. So we've got a hot listing. This is $1 million listing that we've got over here in Tampa Bay. We've got $1 million listing on the property. What's the one there? Loredon. 14626, John, we'll throw that one up there, Loredon. So this is a great opportunity. Now, what you've got here is unique. It's on the point. It's about 12 feet above sea level. It's on like a bluff there, so it's on a point. You can see the elevation there if you're watching our TV show version on Apple TV, Amazon, Roku, YouTube, Rumble. 14626 Loredon Drive, number 14. It's on the peninsula there. You can see that waterfront, bay access, boat dock, fast access to the Gulf. So if you're a fisherman, you love this location. And it's 5 minutes to Indian Shores, Indian Rocks Beach, 180-degree views of the intercoastal waterways. You also have a heated pool, tennis courts, and a great opportunity. 2 bedrooms, 3 bath, 1,330 square feet, $1 million listing right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
All right, Dr. Genevieve Dobson, welcome back in.
Hi, thank you.
Pleasure. And we've got some deadlines coming up in May and a lot of cool stuff to talk about. Where do you want to start?
Oh, man. Gosh, there's always so much craziness going on in the student loan world. But, I mean, the biggest thing is definitely going to be that people are going to have to start paying their student loans in May. Everybody's gotten real comfortable with zero payments since last March. But now's the time. I don't see that they're going to postpone any further like they've been doing. We're seeing COVID numbers definitely going down. People are employed. So more than likely, as of May, people are going to have to actually start go back and pay those student loans. So
what happened is about a year ago, then they came in and said, hey, we're going to give you a year, zero interest, kind of kick the can down the road.
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden the bills are going to due and people are going to say, wait a minute, I didn't expect that.
Right, exactly. So, they started off where it was only, 6 months, and then they pushed it further because, things hadn't gotten back to normal. So I think people are kind of assuming like, we're going to get more time. I don't see that happening. something. So,
Right.
if you have payments coming due, you have to do something, some kind of repayment program. The last thing you want is to go into default on those student loans. So they can contact me. We can figure out what payment plan is best. I just worked with a girl just the other day. Her payments were going to be about $11.78 a month. We got them down to $164 by doing the right paperwork for her. So big difference when
Wow.
her May payment comes. She's saving a lot of money. So that's really important.
I can't imagine being young and having $1,000 payment like that
Right.
for student loans,
Yeah.
and just and you're probably not in the the pinnacle of your career at
Right,
that point, right?
right.
Mid-20s, you
Yeah.
probably got a decent job, you're starting out, but to be able to afford that extra $1,100, $1,200, that's a lot of money on
It's a
somebody's
lot
debt
of-
ratio to use a real
Exactly.
estate and mortgage term.
Exactly. It's way too much for most people. So that's why, all these great programs do exist.
Yeah.
It's just that people don't know how to take advantage of them and make sure that they're doing it correctly so they can actually save that money.
Right.
Yeah.
So saving money is what we talk about here on the show. It's a consumer advocate-based program. Dr. Genevieve Dobson, Degrees of Success, studentloanmanagement.info. I know she's got multiple. We'll give her contact information out here in a minute. Credit repair expert also. So if you need credit repair, or maybe credit improvement is a nicer way to say
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Everybody could use a little bit of improvement.
Right.
Maybe I haven't seen an 800 or 900 credit score, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
credit, student loan expert here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. So she's Dr. Genevieve Dobson, and I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. But yeah, what is the best website and place for folks to find you?
So studentloanmanagement.info is definitely the best for student loan stuff. I do have multiple websites. So if somebody wants to look at like public service loan forgiveness as an example and see if they qualify, they can go to pslf-waiver.com. That's to determine if they actually can get public service under the new waiver program. So that's a good place to start for that. And then those that are looking at, business information, credit information, things like that, they can go to Jump Program, which is jump-program.com, and we can discuss different business avenues, whether it's LLCs, S-Corp documents that they need, or just to figure out what kind of business to start up or business credit. They can go there for that. So.
Yeah, and reach out to the show hotline, too, if you didn't catch those URLs. You always know the hotline is 813-917-1894. Just call or text that line. We'll put you in touch with Dr. Genevieve Dobson, 813-917-1894. Just call or text that line, off-air number. So you can do a review as well. So people say, hey, I've got this type of loan. I had this type of a Pell Grant or whatever. You can do a review and kind of say, well, here's a scenario that might play out because you've done hundreds of these, right?
Oh, thousands and thousands
Right.
of these. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the biggest thing is just looking at it saying, and it's a free call. So, you tell me what you got. We can determine, what your options are, and then make sure that it's something that's actually advantageous for you. Figure out a plan of action. Everybody's different. Some people, we might have them do a private refinance, depending on the type of debt that they have. Some people might need to do a federal consolidation. An income-driven repayment option might be the best. They might need a graduated payment option, which is interest only. There's so many different things. There's over 8 different payment programs for federal loans alone. So just understanding that there's so many, and most times people get it wrong. I mean, 90% of the time when I talk to people, they've selected in their mind a particular program that they think is best, and it's usually not the right option. There's better ones. There's all those loopholes.
Well, wasn't that last time we spoke too? You'd mentioned like one of these servicers got in big trouble because they were basically telling people, "Yeah, here's the one you want to do," and it was one of their supervisors saying, "Yeah, funnel everybody, kind of steer everybody into this program."
Absolutely. So Navient, one of the biggest federal loan servicing companies, as well as a few others, they just haven't gotten caught yet. They were fraudulently mismanaging on purpose.
Wow.
Having people that might have qualified for public service loan forgiveness, or qualified for a reduced payment under income-driven repayment, or even a zero payment under income-driven repayment, they were putting them in forbearance. So they had all this interest accruing where they could have gotten zero interest.
Wow.
They could have gotten forgiveness by now. And now they're going back and they have to pay like $1.7 billion in settlement money, which doesn't even like touch the surface of how many people have been screwed over, for lack of a better word.
Right.
So, there is a, disconnect between the servicing companies actually being advocates for the consumers, and then someone like me who truly is an advocate for the consumer to make sure that, like, are you getting the deal that you're supposed to get? Because these big companies are making billions of dollars on your mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's huge.
Think about that from a from a corporate standpoint. It goes back to like the idea of corporate skimming.
Yeah.
Everything from getting a half a bag of potato chips, where back in the 90s we used to get a full bag,
Right,
or
right.
at least 3/4,
Right.
And then you get that kind of corporate skimming. You got the kind where, all of a sudden on your bank statement you see a couple things. Wait, what is that? And for the people to actually take the time to call the company, make a dispute to get that money back, even if it's just a couple bucks here or whatever number. So you got corporate skimming in a lot of ways. So Navient got caught in this case.
They got caught. Yeah, Consumer Protection Bureau said they knew that was happening. You call in. I mean, I've called in for clients, and they would tell my clients like, "Oh no, they don't qualify for this." I'm like, "They absolutely do."
Wow.
Like, you're putting them in the wrong program. You don't even know what you're saying.
Yeah. So the average layperson doesn't know either. They don't know how to counter that.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Because I mean, if you call this big company and they tell you like, "Oh, you don't qualify for this," what do you think? I just had a client literally like 2 weeks ago. They qualified for a reduced payment down to $564. The student loan company told them no, they didn't qualify. Their payment was going to be like $1,200. I'm like, absolutely not. So I get on the phone and I'm like, listen, you're wrong.
Yeah.
I was like, let's run these numbers. And they're like, oh, yeah, you're right.
At least they admitted it
But-
and they didn't dig in.
Well, they didn't. They didn't have a choice, really.
Right.
But it's like, what if she had not hired me?
Right.
They would have been like, no, you don't qualify, and she would have been like, oh, okay, so $1,200 payment, I can afford that. So guess what? I go into default. Now I have late fees and default charges and all of this other stuff, and it's affected my credit. All from their error.
Yeah.
So
well,
that's
I think that's a really good human quality to have, especially these days, is to be the type of person that's going to stand up and say, wait a second, something doesn't smell right, sound right, look right here.
Right.
A little bit more of I don't know about insubordinate, but in a situation like that,
Right.
where you have the backbone to come up and say, you know what, this doesn't sound right. It reminds me of a deal we had. We've got all these great expert contributors for the show and through our real estate business. But we had our mortgage expert, our insurance guy, Doug, stepped up on a deal. We had a very similar situation. We were talking to someone from FEMA, and they were killing our deal. It was a second floor condo. It was something to do with FEMA, floodplain, et cetera. And Doug and his team jumped right in, and they said, wait a minute, no, this isn't right.
Right.
And then, to have that expert on your team that can go against the so-called power to be in that case, right? And then you come up and you stand up and you're right in the end. And, you save the deal. By the way, the buyer got to move in, the seller got to move out, everybody got their money.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's really, really important. And, and that's why what I do is so important because, ultimately, we're talking thousands of dollars, millions of dollars in some cases. I mean, I have clients that have $350,000, $400,000, $500,000 in student loans.
Wow.
So imagine errors like that where you're paying interest that maybe you would not have. Interest on $500,000 is a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Especially at like 6.87%.
Wow.
You
How
know?
long are their terms on that?
So it depends. If they do a consolidation, they can get a 30-year term.
Wow. Okay.
If they don't do a consolidation, then generally it's 10 years, but they can ask for an extended term up to 25.
Yeah.
So there's some flexibility in the term, but even then, even at a 30-year, I mean, $500,000, that's a pretty nice house, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's a pretty decent
That's
house.
going to appreciate. How much is your education going to appreciate, right?
Right. Nowadays, people are saying, like, oh, well, we don't really care that much about education anymore. I'm like, wait a minute. I got all these degrees. They don't really matter. And it's like, I need some of this money back.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking with Dr. Genevieve Dobson here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, student loan expert, credit repair expert. You can call into the hotline. We'll put you in touch as well. Degrees of success. And yeah, so you think about credit. Let's switch gears, talk a little bit about credit too, because this all comes into play if you're not making your student loan bills, if you're missing payments here and there. What's some of the biggest misnomers that people have when it comes to credit repair, credit improvement?
Yeah, so the biggest thing, the most important thing is that people bury their head in the sand and they pretend like it's going to go away magically. That's the biggest issue. So once I get people to recognize, okay, there's a problem and we just have to resolve it. We have to look at one thing at a time. Don't look at it as this big issue. Let's take one thing that's on your credit that's negative and let's fix it. Mm-hmm. Let's go to the next thing. Let's fix that. And there's things that can be disputed and removed, of course, right? Maybe it's been on there too long, and maybe it's moved from so many different companies we don't even know what the the original contract stated. There's a lot of things that can be disputed. But then it's all a matter of like, okay, how do I have a game plan of how do I pay this down? I do calls with my clients where we go in and settle. So I might call in and say, listen, I know that they owe $3,000. We'll give you $700, take it off their credit. Let's settle this. And a lot of times, surprisingly, they will, especially when they're working with a company. They're like, oh, here comes this company. Like, whatever. Let's just get rid of this. Let's take what we can. And many times they've already made their money. Pennies on the dollar, is what they paid for that debt. So they're making money on it anyway.
That's right.
So that's really important. Just having a plan and then sticking to it, like putting some money aside and saying, let me pay some of this down. And that makes a big difference on credit management. Huge
Absolutely.
difference.
Absolutely. All right. That's almost our time there. Dr. Genevieve Dobson, best place for folks to find you. You got your social too?
Yeah. So, if you want to reach me directly, just go to Dr. Jen Dobson on Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok. That's the best way to really connect with me personally.
GEN.
Yep. Dr. GEN Dobson. Yep. So meet up with me there. And then, of course, you can always go to Degrees of Success on Facebook. That's the business website.
Awesome. Good stuff. Always a pleasure. Always great information. Thank you for coming in.
Of course. Thank you.
Awesome. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk with Shane Socash here on the program. Shane Socash. You've heard him on here talking about precious metals, gold, silver, platinum, diamonds, and he's the owner of David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin. So we're going to talk about that. Some people are looking for alternative investment opportunities, places to park their money and kind of stave off inflation. So we're going to talk with him coming up right here on a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com. Have you desired more income and more freedom in your life? Now is your time. Keller Williams Realty has just launched our own real estate school, and you can get licensed for free. I'm Brandon Rhymes, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And for the first 3 people who reach out, I will personally coach you. 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. ConsumerQB.com. ConsumerQB.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here. Consumer Quarterback Show, Keller Williams Sports and Entertainment. Certified real estate agent here in Tampa Bay, luxury division, commercial division as well, with Keller Williams Realty. We're in the top 1% of all 25,000 plus realtors in the greater Tampa Bay area, certified negotiation expert, and we love to help you win when it comes to buying, selling, or investing in real estate. We would love to talk to you. Just reach out to the show hotline, consumerqb.com as well. 4823 Ebbtide Lane. This is number 405. Hot real estate listing that we've got here in Tampa Bay. This is a beautiful property, penthouse on the 4th floor overlooking the Gulf of Mexico and the Cody River. And look at that beautiful balcony, 30 feet by 25 feet, huge balcony. Got 1,100 square feet. Could be a 2-bedroom or 1-bath property. 2-bedroom, 2-bath property here. It's currently set up as a 1-bedroom, but easily converted back to the 2-bedroom. You got 270-degree views. Live property. I mean, this is a great opportunity on the Cody River with views of the Gulf of Mexico. And you've got a marina next door as well. If you have a boat you wanted to store, you could certainly rent out a slip there. 4823 Eptide Lane, number 405, right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. How about 820 Pinellas Avenue in Tarpon Springs? This is a commercial property, corner lot location. Great opportunity to own real estate in Tarpon Springs. You get the walkability to the restaurants, the sponge docks, the other businesses surrounding you. 820 Pinellas Avenue, Tarpon Springs. Currently set up as a 2-bedroom, 2-bath home, but easily could be converted to a small office. 820 North Pinellas Avenue, Tarpon Springs. You can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
And we're going to go to the phone lines here. We got Shane Socash on the program. He's the owner, David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin. Hey, Shane.
Hey, Brandon. It's getting pretty exciting over here with gold and silver, well, gold specifically in the all-time high range.
Wow, I know it is, and it's kind of frustrating for some people that have not gotten into that game of divesting their investments, diversification, and you hear about that. People start thinking, man, is it too high? Why should I buy now? Is it at an all-time high? Is it going to come back down?
Do we think that the things that are going on in the world that are driving this are going to end soon? I kind of don't think so. I think that I've seen it happen in the past. I saw, in the early 2000s, I saw a couple take out a mortgage to buy gold when it was kind of approaching an all-time high situation, and I was just shaking my head. I suggested they not do it, and a few years later, they came back and sold it all back to me and made a bunch of money. And just because it's at an all-time high doesn't mean that it's over. I hope it's not. I don't have a crystal ball,
right.
But I think the world events that are driving it are not over and not close to over.
Yeah. I mean, hey, who knows, right? We can't tell the future. Obviously, you got the war going on in Ukraine, and a lot of interesting things happening. I think Biden just came out and said we're going to stop buying Russian oil, so that's a new development.
Sure.
How much will that play? Man, a lot of geopolitical stuff happening, and then. And people are just, they're confused, they're concerned. What is your, take on just in general speaking? Because people, I think right now they're looking to this channel, they're looking to this show for advice.
It's a wet finger in the air. I think it's poised to go up more, and I don't, like, if you're a regular here, you know that I don't say that. Like, I don't profess to know these things, because I really don't. But like you said, the geopolitical things that are causing the metals to go up, I don't think they're ending anytime soon. I think there's some money still to be made there.
Yeah. Absolutely. You see that. You definitely see that happening. And then you got the cryptos. Of course, a lot of people are believing the crypto. They're all, gung-ho about it. Some people have, just kind of shied away from that over the years, too. Talk a little bit about your operation there. You've got these gemologists on staff. You've got beautiful diamonds, and you can create unique pieces if someone's looking to get engaged. A lot going on over at David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.
Yeah, so we have 6 full-time jewelers, and one of my older German-trained jewelers here, Hugo, I worked with him this morning. He put together a selection of hand sketches for one of my clients wants to have kind of an antique brooch made. And so typically I would handle the custom CAD design, but this is a design that lent itself better to the old-fashioned hand sketches in color. We presented them to the client, and the client will make a decision, and then we'll build this, the old-fashioned way, using Hugo's expertise in this case. We have also 3 graduate gemologists and 2 registered master valuers. These are the highest accreditations you can get in our industry. So that's
pretty cool.
Yep.
Be able to know what you're coming into. All right, take a quick break. When we come back, more with Shane Socash here. Local area business owner, support the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out consumerqb.com, and you can always call the hotline 813-917-1894. Call or text the hotline 813-917-1894, and we'll be right back after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Johnny?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, always wanting to help you be a more informed consumer. That's our idea of helping you win in any marketplace here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we'd love for you to save our hotline number. Give us a call or a text, 813-917-1894. Any questions, comments you have, any connections you want to be introduced to. We've got great attorneys associated with the Consumer Quarterback Show. Jason Coble, by the way, Coble Law just filed a $100 million suit against CNN. I mean, we've got some really big hitters here associated with this show. CPAs, financial advisors, Michael Watkins. I mean, what a great job he does on the financial side. Technology experts later in the program. Tomorrow we're going to have Nate Ginter in the house. Really good expert contributors that can help you save time and money and a lot of hassle and aggravation when it comes to all these different parts of your life. So we'd love for you to save our hotline number. Give us a call, 813-917-1894.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
Call the hotline, shoot a text, consumerqb.com. This segment is brought to you by Replenish IV Solutions. If you want to feel energized, hydrated, and replenished, reach out to Stephen and Lisa Gunnan over at Replenish IV Solutions. It's a safe and effective way to restore your body's crucial systems with these awesome nutrients, vitamins, and all types of great stuff, minerals going into your body. And it's a vitamin infusion drip directly into your bloodstream, home or office. They will come to you, to your home or office, and they've got multiple Bay Area locations. Replenish IV Solutions, longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. All right, we got a couple commercial properties here. As you know, we're a top 1% ranked real estate team here in Tampa Bay. Keller Williams Sports and Entertainment Division, Luxury Division, Commercial Division as well. Certified negotiation expert. We got 14121 7th Street in Dade City. This is a restaurant. It's been in business for, I believe it's 20 to 30 years here. Well established, since 1990. It's been established in Dade City. 2 dining rooms upstairs. So you've got a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment, so you can have on-site management. The sale includes all the furniture and equipment. Perfect entrepreneurial investment, plenty of parking, and it's an established restaurant in downtown Dade City, 14121 7th Street, Dade City. And it's a nice cafe, just a beautiful little restaurant right there up in Dade City. All right, we got another property here, commercial property, 5602 Land O'Lakes Boulevard. Land O'Lakes Boulevard in Tampa Bay. This is up on the North Hillsborough side, about 7 acres. Right here, C2 zoning, commercial expansion along US 41, 5602 Land O'Lakes Boulevard in Land O'Lakes, Florida. You can see all of our real estate listings. We've got about 50 listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, so back to the phone lines here. We got Shane Socash on the program, David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin, and he's the owner of David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin here. We talk about precious metals, we talk about investment opportunities, and just a fun place to visit too. You can buy and sell and trade in different places. Shane, you've had people over the years bring in some interesting things to buy and just to show you, I'm sure.
Yeah, we have lots of things. It's like an episode of Pawn Stars occasionally over here. Of course, we don't do pawn, but we see lots of interesting things. From collectible paper money to antique jewelry to diamonds of all sizes. We see all types of things. One thing I don't want to gloss over here is that we had talked about gold kind of hanging out in all-time high area. One thing not to forget is that directly relates back to like old pieces of jewelry. So if you have something, Grandma died and left this to me, I'm never going to wear it. Like, it's never been worth more, as far as the gold value of it today. So something to keep in mind.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So you can go through and kind of check your safes, check your hiding spots. If you don't have a safe, people have a hiding spot sometimes.
Yep.
Check it out, see
Jewelry
what you got in
boxes.
there. Yeah, jewelry box. Yeah, see what you got. You got some old rings and some other stuff. You might be able to take it in to David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin, located right here in Pinellas County, Central Avenue in St. Petersburg, and let Shane take a look at it and give you an honest valuation of it.
Absolutely. I don't think it's a pretty rare instance where someone comes in with a little handful or a little, jewelry box full of something that doesn't amount to at least $1,000 anymore with gold as high as it is.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, that's awesome, and you can pay them cash right on the spot. They can take money out of they walk out with money.
So typically, I'll tell you, the cash goes quick these days, so sometimes we're writing checks, but I've never written a bad check in my entire 22 years of being here. So, our checks are good also.
That's awesome. Yep.
Yep.
And, of course, that's a safe way to do it. We're talking with Shane Socash, owner, David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin. What else is topical right now? You hear too. We pulled out of Afghanistan, and just you got the lithium, and in the ground over there. There's so many things. You hear about these F-150s or even Mercedes-Benz, like cars needing these precious metals. Have you seen or heard anything more about that, Shane?
So the thing that's most topical to us, because we don't deal with a lot of the rare earth minerals and that type of thing, but the thing that is on our radar is palladium, and so we deal in it. It's trickier to get to buy it and sell, but when people come in to sell it, we do buy it. But palladium, we've seen like $1,000 increase over the course of a month or two. So it's up. It's knocking on the door of $3,000 per ounce. That's a pretty impressive metal. I think maybe they're using that in catalytic converters, some automobile type of usage for that.
Ah, I see. Okay. That makes sense. All right, Shane, well, how can people find you and locate you online and also your physical location?
So David Reynolds, jewelryandcoin.com, and then on the corner of 40th and Central forever, I'm looking at my surveillance, and we must have 25 people in our showroom right now. We're packed.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Good, vibrant economy here in Tampa Bay. So Absolutely. Thanks for calling in, my friend. We appreciate it.
Always love it. Thanks.
Absolutely. All right. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Douglas Clark, Ours Creole Smokehouse on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Give you a little flavor of Tampa Bay and little insights from a successful restaurant operator. What's going on with supply chain. Going to talk with him. Plus our feel-good story of the day. Candy the Black Bear helps Hillsborough County 6th graders learn to respect the environment. That's our feel-good story of the day coming up. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here. We are looking for real estate investors. We've got a new relationship bringing us a tremendous amount of off-market real estate investment opportunities. So text the word investor to our hotline, 813-750-0550. Off-market real estate investment opportunities. Text investor to 813-750-0550. Brandon Rhymes here, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, looking for real estate investors. Send us a text. Looking for a venue to host your next business or family event? Make it Largo Event Center. The Consumer Quarterback Show has used the Largo Event Center, and the hall and service you get is fantastic. Over 8,500 square feet of meeting space, perfect for events, expos, and trade shows. Upstairs offers space for smaller meetings and groups to include use of their lounge and game room. Plenty of room outside for car shows or food truck events and concerts. Largo Event Center is just west of US 19 on 126th Avenue. For booking and details, visit largoeventcenter.com. That's largoeventcenter.com. Or call Guy at 727-776-3442.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here. Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, Sports and Entertainment Division certified. It's an elite group of Keller Williams agents. We're the #1 real estate company in the world with 200,000 agents worldwide. And in that sports and entertainment division, there's only 1,000 of us. So it's a pretty cool elite group of luxury agents, sports and entertainment agents, and also diversified into commercial real estate as well. So we'd love to help you if you're buying, selling, or investing out there. Reach out to the hotline. We'd love to talk to you. And we've got some hot listings here in Tampa Bay. We got a property at 4214 North Nebraska Avenue. This is a dry cleaner that's available for sale. It's 4214 North Nebraska Avenue. I've got a dry cleaner available for sale here in Tampa Bay. So this is a great opportunity for a business owner, somebody that's in the business. You've got 2,500 square feet, dry cleaning business, successful real estate business that is, and the real estate is available in the sale as well. 2 bathrooms, storage area, equipment and business, and it's a large corner lot in Seminole Heights. So right across the street, we also have 4302 North Nebraska Avenue. You got a billboard on site, your own private billboard, and that one is more of a professional office space. 4302 North Nebraska Avenue, 2,500 square feet property as well. So 2 properties side by side, 4214 and 4302 North Nebraska. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet. Tell me something good.
All right, Candy the Black Bear is a beautiful, big, beautiful mystery. She's also the newest, fluffiest, sweetest teacher's aide for Hillsborough County Public Schools. Candy is the newest resident of Nature's Classroom and the rite of passage for Tampa Bay area students. The rural getaway in Thenona-Sassa has been a jewel of the school system since the 1960s. Some 18,000 sixth graders will visit the 365-acre property this year, hiking, learning survival skills, and visiting rescue and rehab animals in a spacious habitat. Quote, when the kids come to Nature's Classroom, we want them to begin to build a connection with the outdoors, with the environment that surrounds them, end quote, said Karen Johnson, the site's coordinator. Candy is a rescue bear with Mercury Origins in Orlando. She's around 10 years old, they're not sure, and she does love to eat eggs. Educators want the students to understand that Candy needs love and compassion to survive and thrive. So there you have it. There's our feel-good story of the day. We always like those. We like those feel-good stories. And I want to give a quick shout out to Victor and his team over at Chad Irrigation. They do a great job here in Tampa Bay. If you're thinking of adding irrigation or sprinkler system on to any of your real estate properties, Chad Irrigation, Victor and his team at Chad Irrigation do such a great job. They can access any kind of lake water, pond water that you have, or also, of course, deep wells. So Chad Irrigation, longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we're going to the phone lines here. Doug Clark. Okay, we don't have Doug. So I want to play a clip here. I want to talk to you a little bit about what's going on out there. If you've heard of the, of course, the political arena is just heated up. It's crazier than ever. But I want to play a quick clip here about the dollar. Think about the U.S. dollar and the money that we spend and the money that we spent last year and the year before. Listen to this clip here.
And so this is clear. All right, this is absolutely clear. They're doing this events on purpose. They're weakening your country. They're weakening the U.S. dollar. They want to move away from the U.S. dollar. Everyone can see it happening, by the way. They're deliberately tanking the dollar. They're tanking the petrodollar. They don't want America to be competitive in the energy market. Now, understand why. Understand this is the managed decline. This is the Great Reset. This is the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab. This is all of it in action. You're not seeing them make any sense because you're not looking at it from their perspective. Remember, the World Economic Forum, BlackRock, and everybody pushing these ESG, right, environmental, social, governance, credit scores. Remember the credit scores that we've been talking about for over a year at this point? They punish you for investing in fossil fuels. They punish you for investing in American energy. Understand, this has been the plan from the start.
Yeah, so it's interesting, right? So you think about on this mass scale of this world, economy, and you've got the World Economic Forum. That is, they have these meetings every year, and then they come in and they install these leaders around the country or around the world. So look at, like, for example, Justin Trudeau in Canada from the World Economic Forum. There's another one in, I think it's Macron in France. They've got a plan in place for this great reset. But let me talk to you about environmental social governance, right? So you look at these big corporations and you wonder why BlackRock, companies like BlackRock, Blackstone are getting preferential treatment from our Federal Reserve, which there's nothing federal about the Federal Reserve. It's a private entity that is giving out these favorable loans. So very low to no interest rate loans to these big corporations, these big institutional buyers. They're coming in and competing for these single-family homes and real estate properties. So they're buying real estate properties that normally a veteran that went over and served our country, either, of course, domestic or abroad, they can serve anywhere, but they're coming back home and not able to find homes. First-time home buyers, got a young couple, husband, wife, coming out of school, very limited income. They have a certain amount of homes that they can afford. And then you've got these big behemoth companies that are getting fed cheap money from the federal government based on ESG scores. Have you heard of these ESG scores? Well, if you listen to a lot of the podcasts like I do and other, people that are kind of patriots, they love the country. They love what our country stands for. They love our history. But ESG scores, what they're doing is they're using these ESG scores. They're using ESG scores to basically give preferential treatment. And like Jack was saying with these fossil fuels, if you invest in fossil fuels, you're going to have a low ESG score. If you are a woke corporation, you're going to have a higher ESG score. So anyways, we'll kind of leave that bunny trail there as it is. We've gone to the phone lines here. We've got Doug Clark, Ours Creole Smokehouse. Hey, Doug.
Hey, brother. How you doing?
Excellent. Thank you for joining the program. And, tell us a little bit about what's happening over at the Ours Creole.
Very busy. I feel like season has come very early this year. I think it's going to be a very busy summer. I think it's going to last a lot longer. And, Tarpon Springs is a very busy hip little city, little beach town, not necessarily on the beach, but so many cool little shops and local eateries and, antique stores. And obviously we're close to the sponge docks, a lot of history there. So it's a lot of cool stuff going on. The city's put a lot of money into the area, and, it's nice to be a part of it and to see it coming around and, really coming to fruition with what they're actually doing to the city, and sticking behind and sticking to their guns and, doing a lot for the city. We got First Fridays are very busy. I don't know if anybody knows that, but you come on First Friday, they block the streets off. We're right at Ground Zero here at Ours Creole Smokehouse, really at 310 East Tarpon Avenue. We always have our jazz band out there on First Friday, but it's a huge festival. They do a different theme every month, and it's a very great time. A lot of food trucks, a lot of cool stuff going on. A lot of good stuff going on.
It's such a cool city. We had the mayor on, Chris Alahusos. We had him on a little while back, and he was saying, I didn't realize the statistic on it, but first of all, their budget that they have in the city is very well maintained. He's got lots of reserves in there just in case, some type of a disaster or whatever. But he also mentioned Tarpon Springs. I think it's in the southeast. It has the most waterfront properties and areas. If you think about all the riverfronts and the canal fronts and the lake fronts and water. In the southeast, it's the number one city for the most amount of, think about those little finger channels, so to speak. But Tarpon Springs, a lot of waterfront property available over there.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's when 3 years ago when we were looking around and seeing the property, we drove around and that's what I noticed. All the cool little. And the cool thing about it is it's such a beautiful historic houses, and and it just gives you that small little. Not so small, really, but that small little Florida town. You drive up and down Old 19 all the way up. You know what I'm talking about. There's cool little cities inside there. And, a lot of great little houses here. Just to drive and see. Just the history behind them. The 1910 Inn down the road, the little bed and breakfast. A lot of cool little bed and breakfasts around here too. Airbnbs and. we get a lot of people that stay at those places. The Blue Bayou down the road here. Give those guys a little shout out. They send a lot of people to us, and we take care of them. A lot of people are spending money and traveling, and it's our job here at the restaurant to kind of keep their good vibes going and give them some good food. And I feel like we seal the deal on that.
Oh, absolutely. Tell me a little bit about it. You got great ribs. You got rib night over there. You got oysters too. I mean, really good stuff.
Yeah, we got some awesome golden tile in today. It's a kind of a bycatch. So, they're out looking for something else, or golden tile. And the guy called and said he came across a little school, and I said I'll take them. So we're using that up across the board here. Just kind of, again, I know it's beating on a dead horse, but we just kind of shop around and look for what we can get. Cream cheese. Cream cheese is up to like $4 something a pound. You just gotta go to Publix and you buy 1 pound of cream cheese, and it's like $6. So
wow.
It puts a hurting on a lot of the normal staple stuff that people don't really think of. So it's our responsibility to try to keep that price down and not really break the bank here at the restaurant. And luckily for us, we change our menu every day, and just kind of go around and see what we can come up with to keep that good vibe going here.
Yeah, that's super awesome, man. I love it. We're talking with Doug Clark here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Ours Creole Smokehouse, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, and just a great restaurant. Got a cool flavor to it. How would you describe your flavor overall?
Well, we're New Orleans themed, but I guess we got a little spice to it. We'll just call it flavor. You go to New Orleans, and the first thing everybody thinks of is everything's spicy. Well, that's not the case. The history of the city. There's a reason they call it the Mecca of the food world down there. There's so many different things when it comes to Germans, Italians, the Creole, the Acadians. There's so many different things that are going on in that city. When I first moved there, 15 years ago, and that's the one thing I realized. I never forget. I was interviewing when I was down there for jobs, and I went to this country club, this chef, and he's a man. He goes, "I'll hire you," and he goes, "But you ever been here before?" And I said, "No, I've never been here." And he told me to he goes, "You know what I would do if I was you?" He goes, "You just got here." He goes, "You should just go take some serving jobs and try to get a bartending gig somewhere, and just kind of see what the whole city's about." And I was like, kind of mad at first, and I was like, "Man," I go, "You just said you would hire me,
Yeah.
I just graduated college. I'm hurting here. I'm struggling."
Yeah.
And I took his advice and I did it, and it was like one of the best things I ever did, just to see what the whole city is revolves around, and just the different flavor profiles. Spanish, Italian. That's where I ate my first beef tongue burrito, and it was amazing, So it's just, there's a lot of different things that we do here, and we throw some flavor on there that sticks to the Greek heritage here. Our butterfish, with the nice Greek olives, and we actually get sheep goat fat put on that salad, but we braise it down in some nice Chardonnay, and it's marinates some mushrooms, and but there's all kinds of good stuff. Vegetarians, we'll take care of them. We'll just say we are very flavorful.
Yeah.
we don't put salt and pepper shakers on the table.
There you go. I like that. That's right. You don't need it. You don't need it. I'm looking at the website. We got the website pulled up. Crawfish and artichoke baked oysters, shrimp crawfish etouffee, smoked tri-tips with chipotle orange barbecue chicken and shrimp and grits, portobello mushrooms, applewood smoked pork tenderloins, smoked bacon wrapped trout. A lot of good stuff. We got about 30 seconds. Back to you, my friend.
Yeah, well, I just want to say, I want to throw a shout out to everybody that's been coming here, and supporting us. We're coming up on 3 years here in October, and we've been grinding, killing it daily, and we just love it. We love the city. We love the support we get, and we have a lot of regulars. And I wish I could rip their names off, but 30 seconds is too long. And I just want to say thank you for having us on the show. We love you. We get people that hear us all the time on there. we rock, man. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Likewise, we appreciate you guys as well, doing a great job out there, kind of give us that insights. And thanks again, Doug. Appreciate you.
All right, brother.
Hours
Thank
Creole
you.
Smokehouse. Check them out, 310 East Tarpon Avenue. Tarpon Springs, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Hey, another great show. I want to thank Dr. Genevieve Dobson, student loan expert, credit repair, and improvement expert. Shane Socash, David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin. And visit consumerqb.com for more information on any of our expert contributors. And please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rhymes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.